Stop everything you are doing right now, because what I am about to reveal will completely blow your mind about what is happening across America this very moment. 106 people are dead. 300 million Americans were under weather alerts at the same time. And here is what will absolutely shock you. We are talking about a storm so massive, it carved a 2,000-mile path of destruction from Mexico to Canada, making it the costliest winter disaster in years, with damages hitting $115 billion. But here is the kicker that even veteran meteorologists are calling unprecedented. Right now, as I am speaking to you, another bomb cyclone is forming off the East Coast, and over 20 million people are already under winter storm watches for this weekend. The National Weather Service just issued this warning. Major weekend East Coast winter storm with a rapidly deepening low-pressure system and with high winds, waves, and heavy snow impacting the seaboard. If you want to stay ahead of these life-threatening weather patterns that are about to hit again, smash that like button right now. Your engagement literally helps us reach people who desperately need this critical weather information to stay safe. Let me paint you a picture of what just happened during Winter Storm Fern. This was not just another winter storm. Former NOAA Chief Scientist Ryan Maue said the entire lower 48 states recorded their coldest average low temperature, -9.8 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the coldest since January 2014. We are talking about 230 million people experiencing temperatures of 20 degrees or lower, with 150 million subjected to snow and ice accumulation. The human cost of Winter Storm Fern was absolutely staggering. There were 106 confirmed deaths across multiple states. 3 brothers, ages 6, 8, and 9, fell through ice in Bonham, Texas. A 19-year-old college student was found dead from hypothermia in Ann Arbor, Michigan. 8 people were discovered outdoors during the freezing weekend in New York City. 6 people were killed when a plane crashed at Bangor International Airport in weather-related conditions. These are not just statistics. These are real people whose lives were cut short by the most devastating winter weather event in decades. What's coming this weekend could be even worse. But wait. There is more that is going to absolutely stun you about the records that were shattered. Boston. Logan International Airport recorded 23.2 inches, the 8th highest total in the airport's history. Toronto Pearson International Airport received 46 centimeters, the largest single-day snowfall since records began in 1937. Columbus, Ohio, set a new daily snowfall record with 11.9 inches. Obliterating the previous record of 4.7 inches from 1988. Here's what makes this even more incredible. Flint, Michigan hit -24 degrees, just 1 degree above the all-time record. Grand Rapids, Michigan recorded -19 degrees, the coldest since 1994. Rhinelander, Wisconsin plunged to -36 degrees, the coldest since 1996. Knight, Iron County, Wisconsin dropped to -42 degrees, the coldest in Wisconsin since 2019. Drop your location in the comments right now and tell me how the weather is where you are, because I want to show you exactly how this next storm is going to affect your specific area. If this breakdown is helping you understand the true scale of what we are dealing with, subscribe immediately and ring that notification bell. When dangerous weather like this develops, you need every single update to make decisions that could literally save your life. Wind chill values reached life-threatening levels that meteorologists say have not been seen in decades. Minnesota and North Dakota experienced wind chills of -50 degrees or lower. Eastern Iowa dropped below -40 degrees. The Western Carolinas recorded -20 degrees at higher elevations. We are talking about temperatures that can cause frostbite in minutes. Now, here's where this story gets even more unbelievable. The aviation industry experienced its worst disruption since COVID-19. On January 25th, over 11,600 flights were canceled, the highest single-day total since March 30th, 2020. The weekend total exceeded 20,000 cancellations. American Airlines described the event as the most disruptive storm in the airline's 100-year history, canceling more than 9,000 flights total. Company spokesperson Ethan Clapp explained that 5 of their 9 hub airports were significantly impacted, and conditions changed 23 times during one day at Dallas-Fort Worth alone. Individual airport statistics paint a picture of complete paralysis. Boston Logan had 61% of flights canceled. JFK International had over 40% canceled. LaGuardia Airport closed at 1 p.m. on January 25th, with 90% of Sunday flights canceled. Reagan National Airport canceled 99% of Sunday flights. Share this video with everyone you know if you want them to understand what's really happening with these extreme weather patterns. This detailed analysis could help them prepare for the dangerous conditions that are coming this weekend. Here's a question I want you to answer in the comments. Are you prepared for power outages and extreme cold like this? Or are you completely caught off guard by how severe these weather patterns have become? Let me know your honest thoughts about what you're doing to stay safe. At peak impact on January 25th, over 1 million customers lost power, primarily in Texas, Louisiana, the Mississippi Delta, and the southern Ohio River Basin. By January 27th, more than 500,000 customers remained without power, concentrated in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Nashville Electric Service reported the highest number of outages in the utility's history, approximately 230,000 to 250,000 customers at peak. The utility dispatched more than 740 workers for restoration. Middle Tennessee Electric described crews fighting tree after tree, with lines being knocked out again as soon as repairs were completed. The energy market response was dramatic. Natural gas futures surged above $6 per million British thermal units for the first time since December 2022, representing a 68% year-to-date increase. Prices peaked at $6.78 per million British thermal units on January 27th, a 28% single-day spike. Regional natural gas hubs temporarily exceeded $100 per million British thermal units. PJM Interconnection, serving 67 million people across the East and Mid-Atlantic, saw wholesale electricity prices briefly surge above $3,000 per megawatt-hour, up from under $200 per megawatt-hour earlier. The Department of Energy issued emergency orders to prevent blackouts. Here's a question I want you to answer in the comments. Are you prepared for power outages and extreme cold like this? Or are you completely caught off guard by how severe these weather patterns have become? Let me know your honest thoughts about what you are doing to stay safe. Texas's grid, which catastrophically failed during Winter Storm Uri in February 2021, performed markedly better this time. ERCOT maintained more than 11,000 megawatts of operating reserves and avoided issuing energy emergency alerts or conservation calls. Battery storage, which barely existed during Uri, provided 9.5% of power during peak demand, equivalent to 1.75 million homes. Governor Greg Abbott declared the grid has held once again and works absolutely flawlessly because of everything they have done over the last 5 years. However, Virginia Palacios of Commission Shift cautioned that the cold snap has been far less severe than Winter Storm Uri, making it difficult to assess whether post-2021 weatherization measures are truly working. AccuWeather Weather estimates preliminary damage and economic losses at $105 billion to $115 billion, which would make Winter Storm Fern the costliest severe weather event since the Los Angeles wildfires in early 2025. Adam Smith, senior climate impact scientist at Climate Central and former manager of NOAA's billion-dollar disaster list, confirmed this storm will easily cost multiple billions of dollars, making it the country's first billion-dollar weather disaster of 2026. Bank of America economists estimated Winter Storm Fern could shave 0.5 to 1.5 percentage points off economic growth in the first quarter of 2026, reflecting slower consumer spending and weather-related business disruptions. Jacob Fuchs, research economist at Colorado State University's Cooperative Institute for Research in the Atmosphere, explained that events like this storm highlight just how interconnected our economy is with weather conditions. When major transportation hubs shut down or power grids fail, the cascading effects ripple through supply chains and business operations across multiple sectors simultaneously. Supply chain disruptions spread rapidly. UPS suspended Monday delivery to over 3,000 zip codes in Texas, Ohio, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Indiana. FedEx issued a national service disruption notice and deployed contingency plans at its Memphis and Indianapolis hubs. The U.S. Postal Service suspended its Priority Mail Express guarantee and halted live cargo shipments. The federal and state response matched the storm's historic scale. 24 governors issued state emergency declarations. President Trump approved 12 federal emergency disaster declarations, described by FEMA as a historic amount in record time, covering Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. More than 5,400 National Guard members were activated across 15 states and Washington, D.C. Georgia mobilized 500 guardsmen. Maryland activated approximately 160 personnel with specialized vehicles. Tennessee established a 24-hour joint operations center. But here is what is going to absolutely blow your mind about what is happening right now. Even as recovery continues, the National Weather Service is tracking another major storm system expected to undergo bomb genesis, with rapid intensification off the Carolinas early Saturday, February 1st. The National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center issued this warning on January 29th. They warned of a major weekend East Coast winter storm with a rapidly deepening low and high wind, wave, and heavy snow impacts up the seaboard, especially anomalous for the coastal Carolinas. Over 20 million people are already under winter storm watches, including Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham, Norfolk, and Atlanta. Forecasters expect central and eastern North Carolina to see heavy snow with punishing winds, 6 inches or more possible. Southern Virginia could experience blizzard conditions, with 6 inches or more expected. Coastal southeast Virginia and northeastern North Carolina may see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, with blizzard conditions Saturday night. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration warns that wind gusts near hurricane force will coincide with astronomical high tides, producing moderate to locally significant coastal flooding. A full moon Sunday increases tidal flooding risk, with beach erosion and high surf expected along the Atlantic coast. If you are in the path of this next storm, like this video immediately and share it with your family and friends. This kind of rapid weather development can catch people completely off guard, and the information I am giving you could be the difference between safety and disaster. The Climate Prediction Center projects a moderate risk of much below normal temperatures for the Northeast, Eastern Great Lakes, and Central Appalachians from February 8th to February 12th. Wind chills below 0 degrees may extend as far south as Virginia and Kentucky. Climate scientist Jennifer Francis of the Woodwell Climate Research Center notes that studies suggest these aberrations in the polar vortex are happening more often in a warming world, which favors more frequent winter extremes. We are seeing atmospheric patterns that meteorologists describe as once-in-a-generation events happening multiple times per year. AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg warns that their long-range forecast for February calls for below-average temperatures across much of the eastern two-thirds of the nation, with the biggest departures from normal in the Midwest. The worst 10 days of winter in 40 years may be followed by the worst February in a generation. Here is what separates this from amateur weather reporting. Understanding when atmospheric conditions become too complex for simple predictions is essential. The polar vortex displacement that created Fern sent Arctic air plunging deep into North America from an unusually low latitude off the coast of Baja California. NOAA deployed a Gulfstream 4 SP research aircraft and hurricane hunters to investigate its structure, a rare measure typically reserved for tropical storms. Do not miss the critical updates about this bomb cyclone that is forming right now. When it hits this weekend, you will need every piece of information to stay safe and make informed decisions that could save your life.